Robert Springs. Hello, Robert. I'm eating a salted caramel ice cream cone, so I kind of got my mouth full. Kind of hard to talk. Hello, BC Sports Cards. Merry Christmas. Eating a salted caramel ice cream cone. How are y'all doing this Christmas evening? Yeah, good old cone of ice cream is hard to beat. Hey, BC, it was cool seeing those area cards last night uh, that you gave to Surfer. That was nice of you, and that was neat. I don't think so. He done a live this morning, and I seen where he released a video later this evening. So I don't think he's doing one tonight that I know of. What's your thoughts about the Cubs getting my favorite player, Kyle Tucker? I bet. I feel like he was going to be the greatest free agent of 2025, but maybe he'll do good with the Cubs this one season, and then the Astros can re-sign him at the end of the season. Because I definitely enjoy watching him play for the Astros. He definitely has the potential for 40-40 season. Um, Fun to watch in the outfield. I like him because he's old school. I like the old school players. Um, Hello, Chris. Merry Christmas. I'm eating a salted caramel ice cream cone. So if my words are inaudible, that's the reason. Or it may be the reason. Sometimes my words are inaudible either way because I'm country. Oh, cool. What kind of sausage you got? Your dog drank the eggnog. You ought to write a song. I was having a Merry Christmas until my dog drank my eggnog. I'd make a good country song. Hello, cover by CQ. Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas to Danny. This is the first year in a long time that I didn't have no eggnog. I guess that might be why I'm eating the ice cream cone. I'm having dairy withdrawals. Yeah, I like some custard. You ever had a Kaneka sausage, BC? Do they sell that where you're at? You never heard of Kaneka sausage? It's sausage they make down here where I'm at. I'm not sure how far out they sell it. That's why I asked. But that's my favorite kind of sausage, Kaneka sausage. If you ever if you ever listen to the Braves game on the radio, um, they'll they'll mention Kaneka sausage. That's one of the sponsors. I spy with my little eye a flame. Hello, Rusty Bucket. Merry Christmas. I'm trying to think of some flame songs. Uh, Alabama song comes to mind. There's an old flame a burning in my heart. Also, the Bangles, "Eternal Flame." Is this burning an eternal flame? Merry Christmas to Dave Campbell. Hope you're doing well, DC. So we have DC in the house. We have BC in the house. Well, we're not in the house. We're outside. It's not good to have fire inside. I guess unless it's like contained, I guess, in a fireplace. But generally, it's not good to have fire inside. Let's see. So I've sung some flame songs. Now, fire songs. What fire songs come to mind? Uh, we didn't start the fire, Billy Joel. Merry Christmas to National Parks Princess. Good to see you. Semi see you. I'm not a college professor, but I did stay at Holiday Inn Express. And I don't ride in mud with a stick. Just sand, not mud. Riding in mud, not as fun. B40? What is a B40? books right after When You Be Three. Merry Christmas to the hobbyist. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, don't forget to. It's the biggest. It's the biggest bar on the screen. On the word. What word am I looking for? Keyboard. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. You had it there. The biggest. I can't even talk. The ice cream done got my speech impedimentizing. I just made up a new word. I got an ice cream speech impediment. All right. So, what was everybody's favorite comic strip to look at in the newspaper? If anybody ever did that, surely I'm not the only one. What was your go-to comic strip back in the day? Beetle Bailey and Garfield. Oh yeah, the Far Side. I said the Fireside. I'm looking at the fire. I said the Fireside. Yeah, those are three good ones. Yeah, I always enjoyed reading the comics in the paper. My yeah, me too. My dad and brother were bigger into comic books than I was. I didn't read too many comics. They read a lot of them, but the funny papers and the comics in the funny papers was my cup of tea. Not as much reading. A I guess you could say the comics were the cliff notes of comic books. But I like things that make me smile, and definitely the comic strips were good at doing that back in the day. Yeah, this is true. Hello, Star. Merry Christmas. Star spelled backwards is rats. Hello to Nicholas Woodall. Merry Christmas. I was hoping to see some stars tonight, but it's overcast sky, so they probably won't be out tonight. They're out there, I just can't see them. I see your comment, Danny. Um, yeah, I remember the comics Bible. I'm making cookies, but I'll be back to chat shortly. Hello, Specs. I guess she went away. Um, Bring back some cookies. George Strait has a good Christmas song about some cookies. Thank you, friends. I put the harm in harmonica. All the dogs in the neighborhood are going, what is that noise? This is a test of the emergency broadcasting system. If this would have been an actual emergency, some dude wouldn't be playing some bad sounding harmonica. Hello to Fever Dream Animation. Merry Christmas. Hello, Adventure America. Merry Christmas. How's everybody doing this Christmas evening or night? Anybody ever had a car accident? Can relate to, I forget the little boy's name, but he says, Daddy, our car has an owie. You ever had an owie on your car? Or did anybody ever pray with their toys when they were a kid? Ah. Let me see. Hello, Troy. How are you doing? How are you and Angela? Yeah, I like me some Family Circus. Family Circus is like Family Circus was definitely the Cliff Notes of comic strips because it was usually just one little circle. I guess it was always just one little circle. And I forgot all the characters' names in the Family Circus. The little girl. I drew this picture of Daddy, but he was taller than I thought. The blue light is a Christmas ornament. Um, my brother had interviewed somebody on his podcast, and they had sent it to us. Merry Christmas to Scott Urban. How are things in Michigan? Michigan. I wish it was Thanksgiving so I could start wishing it was Christmas. Now it's Christmas, so what is he wishing for? Hello to Daisy May. Happy, what is today? Wednesday. Yes, happy Wednesday. Merry Christmas. I'm hanging in there. Most of it is a fire, but just the blue light is not a fire. I like this one, Grandma. Grandma, this chili you made isn't chili at all. This is true, Scott. This is true. Star says she's wishing for Jesus' return and for a healthy, joyfully peaceful new year, maybe even a plot of land, God willing. Some good things there to look forward to for sure. I don't promote bad words, but I guess if you're going to say a bad word, here's the one to say. The little kid's running, he falls down, and he says, bad word. I like that one. Bad word. I'm trying to remember the kids' names in this family circus. I done forgot them. Do y'all remember? I see one here. They tell the baby's name right here. It says this one says baby spinach. Does that mean it's just for PJ? So PJ's a little baby, so I remember that now. Knocked the little dust off of my clogged up sponge. Noah invented the world's first floating zoo. No, you're not doing the whole 24 hours. I've never watched that movie all the way through. I remember when I was a kid, I got a BB gun, and you know how you're curious as a kid. So I remember shooting. I don't know if it was the very first time I ever shot a tree. I can't remember, but I did. I do remember shooting a tree with my BB gun, and I shot it, and it ricocheted off the tree and hit me in my ear. So I learned from that point on, if you're gonna shoot a tree, make sure you're like pretty far away. Lesson learned on the that's the main thing I think of when I think of that Christmas movie is you'll put your eye out. Hello to A Surfer. Merry Christmas. BC was in here earlier. I don't know if he still is, but he was wondering if you were going to go live tonight, Surfer. I told him I didn't think you were, but I'm not you, so I can't answer. Hello to Yoda. Merry Christmas. Hello to Cherokee Girl. Are you watching the Celtics game, Surfer? Seems like the Celtics play like every Christmas, which I like. Fell asleep. Was the game that boring? I in this month of December, just throughout the month, I've been thinking about what Christmas means to me. Webster has his definitions of things. Different dictionaries have definitions of different things. But I was thinking about how would I define Christmas or what Christmas means to me. My favorite Christmas movie is a Charlie Brown Christmas, and Linus says that's what Christmas means to me, Charlie Brown. So he had a definition of what Christmas is all about. But I was putting together like short words to combine, and one of the words, definitely what Christmas is all about to me is forgiveness. Um, and I just seen this one from the Family Circus. He's mad. He's pointing at him. He says, "I'm telling on you." And then on the bottom, he says, "What was it you did again?" See, he done forgot the wrong that was done, and I think about why Jesus came. He came to forgive us and to forget about the wrong that we done against him. And that's part of what Christmas means to me. His name is Luca. He lives on the second floor. He lives upstairs from you. Y'all probably don't remember that song though. Hello, Tex. Tex Hockey Cards. Merry Christmas. Oh, there's Scott giving me the answers. There we go. The dad is Bill. The mom is Phil. The kids are Billy, Dolly, Jeffy. Yeah, Jeffy. Yeah, I remember that now. Billy, Dolly, Jeffy, and PJ. That's right, Surfer. Without Christ, there is no Christmas. You have to be quiet at church, libraries, hospitals, and when mommy's on the phone. Merry Christmas to Matty Ice. Carrots are good for your eyes. You never saw a rabbit wearing glasses, did you? Anybody ever saw a rabbit wearing glasses? Come on. It's a good point. The kid has got a point. Y'all eat your carrots for Christmas or any day. This is a I'm getting these out of a you can this is like a photo album, real small photo album, you put photos in. But my dad, he like put comic strips in them, like ones that he knew that me and my brother liked, and he would cut them and put them in, the pages, and gave it to us for Christmas. And man, I thought that was so thoughtful. He done it for several years in a row, and I got some of like this Family Circus. I like Ziggy. Ziggy was one of my favorite when I was a kid. Um, what else? Peanuts. I love Peanuts. Um, but yeah, that's what I was thinking about how thoughtful that was, and I was thinking about maybe what's a thoughtful gift that you maybe got for Christmas that you remember. Because I think the best gifts are really not, I mean, I know you can be thoughtful and get something off the shelf at a store, but I really think some of the best gifts are ones that like people have made themselves. Whether it be like your grandma crocheting something, or you know something about the thoughtfulness of something that was handmade. Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah, we. I like this one. I never thought of that before. Refills, refills on the ice cream cone. I never thought about that. Are you sure I forgot to put ice cream in your cone? Oh yeah, I like Hagar the Horrible. Not to be confused with Sammy Hagar. Hey, there's a thought though. Next time y'all go to like McDonald's or something, you get your ice cream cone. Just eat all the ice cream out of the cone, and then take it back up to the the cashier and say, "Can I get a refill?" And see what happens. Now, there's a thought. Who's gonna be the first to do it? So you ought to try that, Surfer. See, I never really thought about that. See, this little cartoon gave me an idea. I just would like to see like their their reaction. I would be serious, be serious with it. I wouldn't be smiling. I'd just say, "Can I get a refill with a serious face?" and just watch their reaction. So Scott, you like the Tigers? You like the Red Wings too, and the Pistons, and the Lions? Are you all around Detroit fan? Do you actually live in the Motor City, Scott? I know you said you was from Michigan, but do you actually live in Detroit? I like this one. When you first saw Diddy, did your eyes turn into little hearts like in cartoons? Okay, cool. Yeah, the Red Wings are my second favorite hockey team. The Bruins are my favorite team, but when I was a kid, I had a Steve Eiserman shirt and a Brendan Shanahan shirt. Red's my favorite color, so I like the Red Wings. Merry Christmas, Cash and Dads. How are you doing today? That's right. Larry Bird, my favorite basketball player of all time. I wanted to be Larry Bird when I was a kid. The French Lick Hick. The Hick from French Lick. Larry Legend. Yeah, I put the harm in harmonica. All the dogs in the neighborhood are barking. I mean I don't dislike the New Jersey Devils, but I mean I've never like I don't guess I've been that fan of them ever. Yeah, I used to want to shoot threes like Larry Bird, rebound like Charles Barkley. When I played in high school. Well, I played in elementary through high school, but my favorite thing I liked to do out of anything was to rebound. So that's I mean I like Charles Barkley because he's from Alabama and he played at Auburn, but I also like him because even though he was short for a forward, uh, he was one of the best rebounders ever. Kind of like Dennis Rodman too. Dennis Rodman wasn't the tallest of people either, but he knew how to get a rebound. So rebounding was always my favorite thing to do. But I did like the block shots and shoot 3 pointers too. Autographed New Jersey Devils hockey puck. That's cool. Do you know who it is? because I only got one autograph hockey puck, and I don't even know who it is. I know it's a New York Rangers puck, and it's numbered, but I can't make out the autograph. And I've showed other people, and they don't know who it is either. New York Rangers, but I don't know who it is. I also wanted to be Kevin McHale for a little while too, because for the Celtics, because Kevin McHale, he had the up and under move. He would fake like he was going to go one way and then go underneath the player and lay it in easily. To me that's like one of the greatest plays that hardly nobody does, but it's to me like the smartest play. 240 miles away. Huh? So you're not going to be singing "I'll Be Home for Christmas" tonight, Troy. I would, if I had to guess, Scott, it was either late '80s or early '90s. Hey, just a second, I'll go get it. I'll be back. I miss 80s basketball for sure. 80s was the best decade for basketball. Well, I believe 80s is the best decade for most anything, music, sports. That's my opinion. Shout out to A Surfer. I got my eye on you. But it's either from the 80s, late 80s, or early 90s, and it's numbered for 44 out of 500, but I can't make it out. It definitely don't say Wayne Gretzky. Oh, I love the smell of it though, that rubber smell. It was made in Slovakia. Made in Slovakia. Larry Bird. Number 33, just like Surfer said. He's dribbling pretty high right there. That might could have got him for that. Yeah, I remember you saying that. I had a what what kind of bird do you have, Troy? Mine was I had a bird named Larry Bird. He was a parakeet, and he was blue. But what's funny though is I can't remember. We had him when I was a kid, and Chris Kreider. I don't guess I'm familiar with him. But when I was a kid, we had our first parakeet we ever had. We named it Larry. Larry Bird. He was blue, and we like bought books to like train them how to talk and learn about them because we didn't we were ignorant about a parakeet and hadn't never been around them, so didn't know nothing about them. So we bought a book trying to train them how to talk and do different things, and but I forgot how long we had him before we finally realized that Larry Bird was a girl. But hey, I mean, we had to stick with the name. He had it for so long, but once Larry laid an egg, that changed things. I never looked at Larry the same. Um, but yeah, according to the paperwork, yeah. Man, I love the Celtics and Lakers rivalries from back in the day. That was basketball at its finest. Celtics Lakers. I think I think the Celtics have one more championship than the Lakers do, if I remember right. But see, they're right there neck and neck with two greatest teams of all time. But James Worthy. So Bird's my favorite basketball player. Uh, Hockey, Boston Bruins is my favorite hockey team, and Ray Bork is my favorite hockey player of all time. He started out wearing number 7, but he eventually went to number 77. So my favorite basketball player is number 33, same forward and backwards. My favorite hockey player is 77, same forward and backwards. Ray Bork. I always like when you can see the fans in the background. I think that would be cool if you was you went to a game and you made it onto the back of somebody's card. But that's my two favorite players in hockey and basketball, and then in football, um, Bo Jackson, of course. And not only is Bo my favorite football player, he's also my favorite baseball player of all time. If he didn't get hurt, man, he would have been the best, I think, in both sports. He was fun to watch. And Surfer, you try to make a Barry Berry card with two Barry Sanders cards. I just made a Barry Berry card with one card. I didn't make it. Flair did. Um, Barry Bonds sliding into second base while Barry Larkin is covering second base. So you have Barry Bonds and Barry Larkin on the same card. Barry Berry. Oh yeah, that's cool. 1991, yeah. Sergei Fedorov, Steve Eiserman. And I mentioned my favorite. My favorite hockey team is the Boston Bruins, and my second favorite is the Detroit Red Wings. When the NFL, my favorite team is New Orleans Saints, but my second favorite team is the Denver Broncos. And the reason for that is I really like John Elway, and I like Steve Atwater on defense. Um, Hello to Peacemaker Cards. Merry Christmas. Um, but I don't know if everybody remembers their very first jersey they ever got. But the very first jersey I ever got was a bright orange Denver Broncos number 7 John Elway. Um, so John Elway is my favorite quarterback of all time. I love watching him play. Mr. Elway, drafted by the Yankees, played at Stanford Cardinals. He was drafted by the Yankees in the second round in 1981. Yankees had high hopes for him, but the Broncos drafted him number 1 in 1983. There's BC. Oh, that's cool, Surfer. I don't have a John Elway autograph. I asked him for an autograph a couple of different times, and he responded both times, but it was always fake autographs. Troy Aikman was your first. That's cool. Troy got a Troy. Troy got a Troy jersey. No, supper's definitely more important than listening to me. Got to have the supper. Um, so Elway's my favorite quarterback of all time. My second favorite, I'm a Saints fan, so Drew Brees. Number 9. I miss Drew Brees. The Saints went downhill after Brees left. Yeah, Nolan Ryan's my second favorite baseball player of all time. Because I was an Astros fan, and the first year that I remember watching the Astros as a kid was 1980. And that's the first year Nolan Ryan got with the Astros. He came over from the Angels, so I followed Nolan through the '80s with the Astros. So he's my second favorite player of all time. Surfer just sent me a Nolan Ryan card too. I appreciate that, Surfer. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the movie Ryan Brian song, but it was about Brian Piccolo. If you've never seen the movie Brian song, I'd recommend watching it. It's a good sports movie. Definitely sad movie. Um, if you know the story of Brian Piccolo, but uh, but definitely a good movie. I I don't know if I told y'all. I told somebody yesterday on Christmas Eve. My dad got a through the mail autograph return in the mail, right? And so I got it, out of the mailbox, and I noticed my dad's handwriting, and it was cool because it was his normal handwriting. But my dad had a stroke, so he hasn't wrote his normal writing in a while. So I knew it must have been something old, but I didn't know it was as old as it was. But after getting in, the stamp on the envelope was 37 cent. It was a 37-cent stamp. So I researched it. What time frame was the 37-cent stamp, and come to find out, and looking at the card, it's a Fleer Tradition card, and the card is a 2005 card. So researching the history of when stamps were 37 cent and the 2005 card, and putting two and two together, the the card got sent off in 2005, and he just got it back yesterday in 2024. So a 19 year a 19-year wait. But the reason I say all this is, that's part of my message. I like to say is don't give up. Not just on TTM autographs. Sometimes they stay out a while. Most of the time when I hear people talk about they've been out a while, it's usually 2 or 3 years. But this was 19 years, and but that just reminds me, of my message that I try to remind myself and tell others is don't give up. Don't quit. Keep the faith. You know, and one of the one of the cards that I made, Surfer. I don't know if I've showed you this before, but here we have. Check out Mick Jagger. He's on the phone, uh, but he's from the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger. So you have a Rolling Stone gathers no mossy. That's one of my favorite quotes. A Rolling Stone gathers no moss. But that quote, what it's saying is, if the stone keeps rolling. It don't have time for moss to grow. And that's just a reminder. To me, I just made this to be funny, but also a reminder just not to give up. Um, so I get messages like that all the time, just a reminder, just not to give up, don't quit. No, I didn't make it. I just it's two different cards. One is a Don Mossy card. Uh, let's see. I just turned them back to back. Just an old Don Mossy card. And then combined it with the Rolling Stones card. Uh, hey, be easy on the ears, man. Be easy on the ears. But has anybody not seen Brian's song, the story about Brian Piccolo? If you've never watched it, put that on your next movie to watch. Check it out. If you don't mind crying. If you don't mind crying. Well, check it out next time. Next chance you get, BC. It's a great movie. Rudy, Rudy. Yeah, I like foot. It's a football movie, of course. I like football movies. I mean, I like sports movies, but my favorite movie of all time is a football movie. It's Facing the Giants. My favorite movie. Merry Christmas to Judy. Go Celtics. Shout out to Judy, my fellow Celtics fan. There you go, Judy. Larry Legend. Yeah, I love Flywheel. That was the same people that made Facing the Giants made Flywheel. That was their very first movie. But yeah, I love that one. Um, I love movies that teach you know good lessons, good morals, and that's definitely an anti-lying movie. Flywheel. That's a great movie. No, I don't like the Red Sox. I don't hate. I mean, I don't dislike the Red Sox, but I'm a Houston Astros fan. Um, Now, I tell people, my reason for the teams that I like is I'm an Auburn, college favorite team is Auburn College because my dad liked Auburn. So I grew up, liking what dad liked. He liked Auburn. My dad's been following the Houston Astros since they were the Houston Colt 45s. So he's always been a Houston fan. So I took after him on the baseball and same way with football. He's a Saints fan, so I'm a Saints fan. And same way with the Celtics. He was a Celtics fan. I am too. Only thing I didn't take after was the Boston Bruins and hockey. I just went out. He didn't like hockey. I just went out on that on my own just because I like the Celtics. So I went with another Boston team, Boston Bruins. But I'm not against the Red Sox. I'm a Houston Astros fan, and I grew up watching. I grew up listening to the Astros on AM radio a lot, and then eventually we got the. Uh, you could watch the Astros on UHF with the antenna with the rabbit ears. So I'd done that as a kid also, but but the games that I watched wasn't Astros because we didn't have satellite or cable back then. So the games that I watched eventually when we did were able to get cable was I got to watch the Cubs on WGE and the Braves on TBS. So I'm an Astros fan, but the two main teams that I followed besides the Astros were the Braves and the Cubs. I got a Cincinnati Reds card right here, Judy, too. So not only I got Larry Bird for Boston, but I got my fellow Berrien, Barry Larkin for the Cincinnati Reds. One of my favorite players. Great player. Merry Christmas, Orlando. Hope you've had a great day. Orlando, I didn't watch all of your live. How far did you walk today? I got my eye on you. Who you gonna call? Y'all remember when telephones were connected to the wall that had a cord? The cord, the corded phone. Merry Christmas, nine fur balls. Psst, psst. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, Scott. He was. I know who he was calling though. He was calling Angie, Angie. He was either calling Angie or Jenny 8675309. Angie, Angie. Angie, Angie. Hello to Christina Payne. No pain, no gain. It is a surfer picture. You recognize it. Yeah, he was like, "What you talking about, Willis?" Yeah, people was always asking me about, why do I have my favorite teams? Because here in Alabama, there's no major sports teams. We have minor league baseball, but um, no major sports teams. So I had to buffet from other states. But I've never been to any major. I've never been to an MLB game, an NHL game, NFL game, or NHL game. I did get to see Wayne Gretzky's brother play in the minor league hockey. In Florida. His name was Brent Gretzky. So that was cool. Surfer, did you say you was going live tonight? Did I see that right? Did I read it right? Hanging out with Texas A&M. Are they playing tonight? But it's been a bad season for me football wise. Auburn football was horrible this year, and my New Orleans Saints were also horrible. So it's been a real bad year for football. But basketball, my Celtics are doing good, and Auburn, the college basketball team, is number 2 in the nation. They're doing really good. Your brother-in-law played for Texas A&M. That's cool. I didn't know your brother-in-law was Johnny Manziel. Manziel. But could y'all imagine getting hit by a hockey puck? Because they freeze these before before the game they freeze. They're frozen, you know, and the things are heavy. I couldn't imagine getting hit with a hockey puck. I bet you that hurts, even with all the gear that they wear. Y'all know what you call a hockey player with all of his teeth? That's funny that you mentioned that, Scott. I mean, I had never. My brother's like the biggest Journey fan ever. My brother just passed away, and I had his his doctor. His doctor was from Detroit area, if I remember right. But she was telling me what you just said. I'd never heard that. That's weird how that is. I was telling somebody else about that recently. How you, if you've never heard of something, then you hear of it the first time, then it's usually always not long after that you hear about it again. So I'd never heard that before. What you just said about no such thing as South Detroit, and she said that same exact thing. My brother's doctor, and now you saying it. That's pretty weird. But man, I was, you know, there with my in the hospital with my brother, and there was some really nice nurses, and one of them, I had told him how my brother was a big Journey fan, and she took her phone, her personal phone, and put it on a Journey playlist, and while my brother was unconscious, she put it there beside him and played it. And I thought that was like one of the sweetest things ever. I come out here, I sit by the fire, and it starts raining. That matter of fact, what you just said about don't stop believing, that was like his main phrase he would always say. Actually, last time I was at the fire, somebody was talking about marshmallows, and I got talking about roasting marshmallows and roasting weenies. But I didn't have any last time. This time I went and bought some. So that is an option. But now that it started raining, I guess I'll do it another time. Hello, God is great. Merry Christmas. Which I know it's over into day after Christmas now. But really, Christmas is every day. What you cooking, Surfer? Are you cooking Pokemon. Pokemon. Bob Marley's favorite Hawaiian dish, Pokemon. Pokemon. That's cool. You have one of the most long distance relationships that I know. The longest long distance relationship that I know, though, is what Christmas means to me. Because Jesus left from heaven to come to earth so that we might could leave earth and go to heaven. And that's about as long distance relationship as you can have. Steak and potatoes and shrimp. What? When are they gonna technology is always advancing. Why don't they have smell-o-vision yet? Hey Troy, you got an extra ticket? That's what I was thinking. Let's. How far is the flight from here to Hawaii? Yeah, my brother, he had a podcast, and he would interview different people. And one of the singers that he had interviewed, they sent this Christmas ornament, and it's really nice. Yeah, right. Yeah, if I want to see snow, I have to look at YouTube and watch people up where you're at, or you know, um, it snows in Alabama, just not in the lower part where I'm at. Um, we get maybe once a decade, occasional flurry here and there. It's funny though, Adventure America. One of the biggest snowstorms slash ice storms I've ever been in is was in Texas. It was in Dallas. Dallas spelled backwards is salad. Surfer needs a salad to go with his steak and potatoes and shrimp. Yeah, I have. I been to that lady's house that it crashed through her roof or whatever. I never went inside. But, um, that's got to that's one of the weirdest things ever. Could you imagine just be just reclining laid back at your house and a meteor comes through the roof and hits you? And she lived is what's amazing too. Yeah, I like when I'm traveling or whatever. I love those little landmark signs, that it'll tell like some kind of historical event that happened. So we was on vacation one year, and was I can't remember if we was going to vacation or coming back from vacation, but I seen one of those signs, and that's what it was. It was at that house. It told the story or whatever. Hello, Rushmore Show. Is this Kirk or Andy? I need you to be more specific. Merry Christmas. I never learned. I thought usually Kurt was the one that had the Rushmore Show header there, but I wasn't for sure. Merry Christmas to Hodges. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is be outside and stare at the stars. It's raining here right now in Alabama, so there's no stars out tonight. I'm sitting out in the rain talking to y'all. But I love watching like meteors, like when there's meteor showers. I think I seen somewhere where you were still supposed to be able to see the comet or something. I'm in L.A., not 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 Louisiana, L.A., or not Los Angeles, L.A., but Lower Alabama, L.A. I bet you that is cool, surfer, not to be around any lights, because that's when you can see stuff the best. Usually, there's anywhere I watch, there's usually some kind of lights around, so it takes away from it for sure. Refresh my memory, Rushmore. What's the next episode of the Rushmore show about? I got to go ahead and be mentally preparing for my rankings. Cake. So what what is the definition of a cake? Um, king cake connoisseur. Yeah, Shadow's dog is the fastest ripper in the West. That used to be a Surfer's title, but he got dethroned. Merry Christmas to Nicholas Woodall. I don't think he's talking about that cake. Wrong cake, Scott. Wrong cake. I guess we'll have to get a clarification.
But he was talking about king cake, so I'm guessing he's talking about the other kind of cake. Going for distance, going for speed. Yeah. Well, the very first cake that came to my mind after he said cake. Oh, so there definitely will be some talk of cake music. So you won't, Scott, you won't be all alone, all alone. Um, the first thing that came to my mind, though, thinking about cake, is pancakes. I guess that would qualify for cakes, right? Is that going to be a okay one of my top fours? I mean, I don't want to sway your vote or anything, but that's the first thing that came to my mind was pancake. Yeah, Bailey is the fastest destroyer of toys. Like after Bailey rips some toys, it's like cotton everywhere. It looks like a explosion of Bear aspirin, just cotton everywhere. Another man, so many cakes running through my mind. Um, I got a lot of Christmas memories. And my grandma, man, like every Christmas or any eating with my grandma, it was always you look forward to blueberry stack cake. Uh, my grandma made an awesome blueberry stack cake, so that would probably be on my list too. So I'm compiling it now. Pancakes, blueberry stack cake. And I'm a big coconut fan, so gotta have some coconut cake on the list. I had some red velvet cake today, actually, but that wouldn't make my list. That's not one of my. Although red's my favorite color, red velvet I like it, but it's not one of my top. Probably not even top 10. Hey Kirk, is Andy's wife okay? I don't think I've talked to him since his wife had surgery or whatever. My favorite advent calendar that I've seen this year is Surfers. I like Surfers advent calendar. Are you through? Is that what you're gonna do tonight? Surfers finish off the advent calendar. I don't really have any New Year's Eve plans. Let's see. Today's Wednesday, so New Year's Eve is on a Tuesday. Mm. I miss staying up late watching Dick Clark. That used to be my go-to thing for New Year's Eve. Drop the old harmonica. Got dirt, sand in the harmonica. That's not good. Never met a bad cake. Yeah, except for Brutus the beefcake. He was a bad cake. The barber. I think I got some of his cards somewhere. I have to do a little digging. Love you too, Troy. Appreciate you. Hey, I got one for you, Andy. Top four things just came to my mind. So I'm playing harmonica, very bad, of course, but as I'm playing harmonica, I'm thinking of Bob Dylan, right? And as I'm thinking about Bob Dylan, my thought goes to "We Are the World," USA for Africa. So going back to that video, the "We Are the World" video, USA for Africa. What would be the top four moments in that video? Did I call you Andy? I'm sorry. I do apologize. But the top four moments from the "We Are the World" video, and I'll go ahead and tell you my Rushmores. I'm talking about my George Washington. My George Washington of the top four moments in the "We Are the World" video is Bob Dylan, "Just You and Me." That's like the peak of the video. But on this Christmas night, I'm sitting in the rain by the fire, and I'm reminded of the message that I get so often. Despite the rain, the fire is still going, which is a reminder to me: don't give up. Don't ever give up. Anything worthwhile in life, don't give up. Keep on, keep pressing on, keep the faith. The only things we're supposed to give up on and quit doing are the things that hurt ourselves and hurt others, which hurts God. So if it's something that helps yourself, helps others, pursue it. Don't give up. But if it's something that hurts others or hurts yourself, it's time to quit. But the fire is burning in the rain. Ray Charles, Steve Perry, Bob Dylan, Stevie Wonder. That's a good one. But I'm just like everybody else. I just want to be loved, just like y'all. That's I was talking about. As I've been thinking, the meaning of Christmas this month of December. I came up with the acronym. The acronym is POEM. Christmas is a poem to me. It's a peace on earth message. That's the acronym for poem. Peace on earth message. And that first Christmas, when the angel, like the song says, "Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King." Um, that first Christmas, the angel had a peace on earth message, and they gave it to the shepherds. They gave that peace on earth message to the shepherds, and then the shepherds went and told others. And I think about my favorite event in the Olympics is when they're running the circles, and they got the baton in their hand, and one of them passes it to the other after he's ran a while. And I think about the angel giving the message to the shepherd, and the shepherd giving the message, and then all the way up to today. We got a peace on earth message, a poem, a Christmas poem. But I pray for peace on earth. And I know, there won't be no full peace on earth till Jesus comes back. But I know today that I myself can have peace with God. And as much as life within me, we can live peacefully with one another. So I pray for peace on earth. Because we're never, ever called to hurt anybody. And you can't show me one instance in the Bible where Jesus hurt anybody. But you can see a lot of instances where we hurt him, or people hurt him, especially on the cross. And that, to me, is the beauty of the cross, is when our cruelty collided with his forgiveness, his grace. And because of that, there can be peace, peace between us and God because of Jesus. But if we got Jesus living within us, the Holy Spirit dwelling within us, we can have peace with one another, and the saying, why can't we all get along? We can, it's a choice to get along, but we all have to make that choice. But first, it starts with peace with God, and that peace with God is definitely available because of Christmas. It started with Christmas. It didn't stop at Christmas. Jesus was born so that he could die, so that I can have peace with God. But one of my favorite verses, Eve spelled backwards is Eve. That's right. One of my favorite verses is Luke chapter 23, verse 34. Because it's a picture of us at our worst is mistreating Jesus. Mankind as a whole, we've all sinned and come short of the glory of God. So, and I think about the cross, the crossroads, the cross, where the intersections of our cruelty met his kindness. Cruelty collided with kindness on the cross, And Luke 23:34, Jesus says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." So while we're mistreating him, when we're being mean to him and doing him wrong, he's saying forgive. And man, but it started at Christmas, man. That's why he was born. He was born. He knew when he left heaven he was coming to die. Man, that's love right there, dude. And that's why, in the word itself, it says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." And that's what Christmas means to me. That God didn't just say he loves us, but Romans talks about God commendeth his love toward us, and that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So he demonstrated his love for us. He knew that we were going to mistreat him, and he still came. That's crazy, man. And that's love. And John Newton, he used the best word to describe grace. Amazing. You can't figure it out. You can't figure out God's love. You can't figure out God's grace. Going to go live tomorrow with a Christmas nerd in the Word. What's that about? Do tell. Do explain. Give us a preview. I'm intrigued. Reboot spelled backwards is tuber. Tuber. A tuber toothpaste. Merry Christmas to MMA, not martial arts artist. Martial arts. What am I talking about? Martial arts artist. No. What am I trying to say? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Anyhow, Merry Christmas, Martha makes art. I've been sitting out in the rain too long. It's affecting me brain. I'm not a great musician, sir, but I do love music probably more than anybody. Music's one of my favorite things in life. But this was my brother's harmonica, and my brother was the musician in the family. I didn't get that gift, but now that he's passed, I want to learn how to play harmonica and guitar. He was a great guitarist. Merry Christmas, Kurt. I almost called you Andy again. But yeah, definitely family time is the best time. So I always make family time priority. Well, God first, of course. God first, but family seconds for sure. And don't take family time for granted. I'm really learning that this Christmas. But I appreciate you stopping by. I love you too. And I always enjoy watching your show. Talking to you and Andy. But you can carry a tune, Martha. You can carry a tune. It's called a radio. That's how I carry a tune. I carry a radio around. As long as there's a radio around, you can always carry a tune. Especially them big old boom boxes. Remember the big old boom boxes from the 80s? Carrying around on your shoulder. Now my dad and my brother both were radio DJs, so I've been around music all my life. So that's one of the reasons that I have a big music appreciation. I just don't have the gift. I'm pretty much tone deaf, and that's not my strong point is singing and playing music. But I do like to do both for sure. But I appreciate everybody that stopped by tonight. It means a lot. I always enjoy talking to people from around the world. I do definitely pray for peace on this earth that we're living in. I think it's a beautiful thing when we all can get along, treat each other right. That's what it's all about. We're supposed to treat each other right. There's a lot of meanness and cruelty in the world, but it's so much greater when we just, we all have something in common. We may not all be card collectors, but some are creative like Martha. You know, some are singers, musicians. And just you can always find somebody you have something in common with. If we could just focus in on the things that that we have so much more similarities than we have differences, but a lot of times people will focus on the differences and getting and divided. But we can all get along if we want to. How long have you been doing lives, Martha? I think my first one was in, let's see, when was it? I guess October. So I've only been doing them a few months, but I do enjoy it. Main reason being is just anytime I go live, I just want to encourage somebody. Is all one of the main reasons I just go on is just try to encourage somebody because I know I need encouragement. We all need encouragement. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we mess up by not giving encouragement. Since May, okay, like half a year. That's cool. But I know there's a proverb. I love the book of Proverbs, and there's a proverb. It's in Proverbs chapter 6. Pretty sure it's chapter 6 that it talks about the things that God hates. You know, God is a God of love, and God is love. The Bible says God is love. So the definition of love is God, and the definition of God is love. And how you define that, you really can't. You can't put definition on God. He's so vast, and the same is true of love. It's so vast you can't define it. But sometimes when people say God is love, they misuse that. But because God also hates not people, but things that people such as you and I do. But one of the things in Proverbs chapter 6 that he talks about that he hates is those that sow discord among brethren. So God hates or despises family division. And I believe we should hate the same things that God hates and love the same things that God loves. Because at the end of every day, I don't determine what's right and wrong. I just have to make up my mind whether I agree with God, who does determine what's right and wrong. But the rain is getting harder. So I guess I will go in. But as y'all can see, it's raining, but the fire's still going. Which is a reminder to me, don't quit, don't give up. Only quit doing the things that aren't worth pursuing, the things that hurt yourself, hurt others, and most importantly, hurt God. Don't do those things. But I appreciate everybody that stopped by tonight. It means a lot. I always enjoy good company. And I appreciate the people that's hung around, even though, despite my bad harmonica playing, the harm that I'm putting out in the harmonica, that people have hung around. That means a lot, man. I'm not intentionally trying to hurt y'all's ears, but um, I'm just playing this in memory of my brother. And but Merry Christmas to everybody. And I want to remind everybody that I love everybody. Not just saying it, I'm for real. But as I'm going through life, I realize that God can't love you or me or anybody any more or less than He does. He is love, so His don't fluctuate. But I've learned that I can love God and love others more, and that's my goal. People talking about the new year. Always, when I enter into a new year, I think about getting closer to God, and if I'm getting closer to God, I'll get closer to others. If I love God more, I'll love others more. That's my prayer. But I want to remind everybody that I love everybody and I don't hate anybody. And it's all because of somebody who died for me. And that's what Christmas is all about. He was born to die. It sounds so crazy, born to die, but that's why he was born. That's what Christmas is all about. He had the birthday, we got the gift. On our Savior's birthday, we got the gift. Which don't make no sense. Every birthday party you've ever been to, every birthday party I've ever been to, the person that that there was that had was the name was on the invitation card. Those are the ones that got the gift. At birthday parties, one person gets the gift, right? But at Jesus' birthday, the day he was born, we got the gift. Thinking about stuff like that just blows my mind sometimes. To think about, I want to go to heaven. That's my goal. That's what I'm aiming for, to go to heaven. But to think about the place that I want to go to, Jesus left there. He was already there. A place where there's no pain, no sickness, no sin, no devil, nothing but good. A beautiful place. But he left there to come here, this messed up world, It just don't make sense. But that's his love. That he left, heaven, a perfect place, a perfect person in a perfect place, came down here in an imperfect world with imperfect people, so that imperfect people down here could go to a perfect heaven. That's what Christmas means to me. That's a Christmas song, you hear sometimes. That's what Christmas means to me, my love, But Christmas to me, I just blows my mind. The depth of God's grace, the depth of God's mercy. Grace is getting what you don't deserve. In Christmas, the gift of Jesus is a gift that we don't deserve. We don't deserve Jesus leaving heaven to come down here for us, or for him dying for our sins, because, he didn't have any sins. We didn't deserve him taking our place. But that's what grace is all about. Grace is unmerited favor, not getting, getting what you don't deserve. And then mercy is not getting what you do deserve. Because of the grace of God, and because of Christmas, I'm not going to get what I deserve. And that is amazing, like John Newton said, amazing grace. Good night, Judy. I'm sorry, I ain't looking at the chat. I'm rambling on what's on my mind. Amazing grace. That's what Christmas is to me, amazing grace, that Jesus would leave heaven to come to earth. because of his amazing grace, his amazing love, because he's an amazing God. But I'm out here sitting in the dark in the rain and thinking about how God rains down his blessings every day. We know it don't rain every day, but God definitely rains down his blessings on us every day because he's good, because he's gracious, merciful. And Christmas is just one of many pictures of the beauty of God and who he is and what he's about. Um, so much, divisions. There's people that have fight over what color Jesus was, which is insanity, man. Insanity to fight over what color Jesus was, you know? Um, he was Jewish, and I believe he had, dark hair and darker skin, but it don't really matter to me, because, in the Bible, it don't really talk about his outward appearance. It talks about his heart, the things he went around doing. So, the Bible don't really give us the Psalms. The book of Psalms gives us talks about it. Talk about mistreating him on the cross. They talk about how they plucked his beard. That's one of the few things that I know about, other than Revelation, that talks about his glorified appearance. But as far as what he looked like in the Bible, it's really silent on what Jesus looked like, other than he had a beard. But it paints a beautiful picture of his heart, man. And that's part of what Christmas means to me, is the heart of God, that for God so loved the world that he gave a gift. For God so loved the world that he gave his best. God gave his best, which was his son. He gave us the best gift ever. That's what Christmas is all about. So, all other gifts that we get on Christmas is like, it pales in comparison to the greatest gift that God gave his son. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. That's good news. um, I've never had to wonder if God loves me. Man, if he didn't love me, he sure when it came down and was born on that first Christmas. He would have stayed. He would have stayed right where he was. And I love that John 3:16. For God so loved the world. He's not talking about the earth that you and I live on. He's talking about the people that reside on this earth, past, present, and future. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. And I love the next verse. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world. That means to judge the world. When the first time he came, Jesus didn't come to judge the world. He's going to do that the second time, but the first time, he didn't come to judge, but he came that the world through him might be saved. That's why there's a Christmas. Christmas is an opportunity to be saved. And as I close out this live this night, I'm just thanking God for the gift of Christmas, which is the gift of Christ, which is an opportunity to receive the greatest gift ever. And what a blessing, man. But I love everybody, and I don't hate anybody. And it's all because of somebody who died for me. And his name is Jesus. And he's the Christ of Christmas. And good night, everybody. And God bless.